Doppelbocks. These are German Doppelbocks, so strong, dark lagers. They are both made by Ayinger, but this one, the Celebrator, is considered to be the #1 Doppelbock in the world by some people, and is the beer that other Doppelbocks are compared against. And this is their Winter Bock, that again by some people are considered to be just a repackaged Celebrator. In Sweden, that is not a strange thought, because we have something called julmust. Jul means Christmas, and must is, it's usually like a more exclusive juice, but in this case it also can mean soda, because this is a sweet beverage with some Christmas spices, I guess. But the thing is, it's only sold around Christmas, but then when Easter comes around, the producers want to sell this soda again, right? But then they call it påskmust, so Easter soda. And most Swedes are convinced it's the same recipe, just repackaged. So let's see if Ayinger did the same thing. The ABV is the same on both beers, and the Celebrator is made in November and the Winter Bock in October, so about the same age as well. I remember the first time I drank the Celebrator, it was during summer, and I thought, I don't want this. I can't remember why I bought it that time. Probably it was a recommendation, but nowadays I love it. The Winter Bock I have never tried actually, so this will be interesting, and also to see if they feel Christmassy. I guess the Celebrator is supposed to be a spring beer, originally released in March. Yeah, both are really dark. If you put it against a lamp, you can see a dark red tint. Well, I can't mix them up now. Left is Celebrator. Let's have a little sniff. Dates, nuts, a bit of smoke actually. Some dried fruits, dark chocolate, bitter orange. So much aroma in this one. And that smokiness, it's a little bit of that salami note, you know. How about the Winter Bock? Lighter aroma. It's definitely not as intense. You find a little bit of that smoky salami note again. Raisin liqueur. See if I can whip up some aromas. After a while they got more similar. That's strange. The first impression was very different from now. Let me smell something else. And maybe it smells a bit drier, if you can smell that. There's not as much of the orange, more of the raisins and figs. Maybe raisin bread, you know, dark, wet bread with raisins. And now the Celebrator had a mineral character, almost a bit metallic. So the Winter Bock doesn't smell lighter anymore, but it's more focused on the dark chocolate, figs, raisins. A bit of tobacco. I have a feeling the Winter Bock will be drier, but let's dig in here. The Celebrator. Prost, cheers, skål. Yeah, it has all the things we smelled together. The dark chocolate is really bitter, and it lingers together with the dryness in the finish. It's like if you've ever chewed on pure cacao, what we call kakao in Sweden, the powder you make chocolate of. But it starts out with the sweet orange and bitter orange. It has a bit of cookie dough breadiness as well. It's one of those beers that are kind of a meal in itself. The smoked salami note is mostly in the aroma, not really in the taste. I get a slightly boozy feeling as well, but I am a bit sensitive about that, as I've talked about before. But yeah, it's a really nice beer. The Winter Bock. Prost, cheers, skål. It was really similar. Maybe I get a bit more nutty finish actually. That's strange because it was the other way around in the aroma. Yeah, hazelnuts maybe. And that sets the foreground in the finish more than the bitter chocolate. But wow, they were much more similar than I expected. Did Ayinger just pull a julmust? It has a bigger bottle as well. I don't know why. Just another thing to differentiate them, maybe. It feels like the Celebrator is sweeter in the beginning, but also more bitter in the aftertaste. And also the smell. When you take a sip, you also smell through your nose, right? And the salami note is only in the Celebrator. That prominent, anyway. This is hard. But the Winter Bock wasn't drier as I thought. And I actually like that it isn't as bitter in the finish. That was probably one of the things I wrinkled my nose at the first time I tried the Celebrator. The high bitterness in the end. And the Winter Bock is more even overall. It's not a lot sweeter in the beginning than in the end. But then again, you avoid the bitterness and you get a bit of nice nuttiness as well. And the more I drink the beers now, the more boozier the Celebrator feels to me. And I think the Winter Bock hides the alcohol better. Okay, this was really interesting. They were more similar than I expected, but I still don't think it's the same beer. They tweak something in the recipe. And if I have to choose only one of these beers, I, a bit surprisingly, choose the Winter Bock. Check out more German beer videos over here. Thank you for watching and remember, drink responsibly!